Hello everyone. Today we will be talking about Karen Horney's theory. Karen Horney's personality theory is called the psychoanalytic social theory. So these are the topics which we would be covering in this lecture. Moving on, these are few books by Karen Horney, and sometimes questions do come that this is the book and who has written it. So these are the six important books by Karen Horney, and the most important is the neurotic personality of our time. Coming to the first slide, we would be comparing between Freud and Horney. Horney had criticized Freud's work on several accounts. She said that if we restrict our knowledge to just the orthodox psychoanalysis, it would lead to stagnation both in theoretical thought and therapeutic practice. Horney had also rejected Freud's idea on the feminine psychology, which we would just be talking about in the second slide. But comparing Freud and Horney, the first point here is the basic drives and motivation. Now, Freud said that human behavior was driven by innate biologically based instincts, which is sexual and aggressive instincts. Basically, Freud believed human behavior is based on anatomy. But Horney does not believe in that. Horney does not discard the idea of unconscious motivations, uh, but she places less emphasis on sexual and aggressive drives. She's not discarding them, but she's putting just a bit less emphasis. She is saying that uh, behavior is due to social and cultural factors, and this is how even the personality is shaped. She says that the basic needs of a person, which are actually the central motivators, is security, love, and esteem. And she says that these come from the society, interpersonal relationships, not your sexual and aggressive instincts, as Freud said. Freud also said something about neurosis, which Karen Horney has discarded the thought. Uh, she said that, like Freud said, neurosis is the result of instincts, but Horney has rejected that, and she said neurosis is actually a person's attempt to find paths through wilderness full of unknown dangers, and paths through attempt to find a path through through a wilderness and full of unknown dangers. This wilderness is coming from the society, not your instincts, not instincts, but the society. We'll see how it's coming from the society later on. Now, in the role of gender and sexuality, Freud said that women, and the most profound conflict actually grew from genital inferiority. Freud said that women do not have the penis, so they are actually feeling inferior from the males, but inferior and jealous of the males, but that's not so. Horney said that Horney said that the penis in V is because they are not jealous of the male or their position of the phallic, the anatomy of phallic, but the position of the males in the society. Horney talked about that the position of males in the society is definitely at a pedestal. The society, of course, prefers male, and it's not that women are being jealous of the phallic that the men possess, but instead they are jealous of the position of the men in the society, because men are given benefits which women are not given. So this is an area, a very big area between a contention area between Freud and Horney. These are the two biggest differences. That's why I've put it in the slide. The next, we would be talking about the impact of culture. Now, Horney, again, as I said, Horney did not overlook the importance of genetic factors. But she said that cultural influences make the primary base for both neurotic and normal personality development. See, emphasize cultural influences as the primary basis for both neurotic and normal personality development. Now, see, is there no influence of genetic, of the gene in the neurotic and normal personality development? Of course, there is importance of genetic factors. She did not overlook the importance. This we have to keep in mind. She accepted that genetic factors have an influence, but she said cultural influences are more. It forms a primary basis. Now, what is she saying? She's saying that the modern culture is based on competition among individuals. Modern culture, there is a lot of competition among individuals. Everyone is a potential competitor of everyone else. This is what she's saying. And I agree with her statement because that's the truth of the modern society, modern culture. So, what happens is competitiveness and basic hostility is spawned, and it results in the feelings of isolation. Now, what is basic hostility? We will be talking about that in a little while. Now, this competitiveness is resulting in the feelings of isolation. Then what is happening? This feelings of being alone, which is isolation, and the potential hostile world. We are competing always with the other person, resulting we are isolated because everybody is our contender, plus a world which is so hostile. It results to intensified needs of affection. And what this intensified need for affection leads to? Overvaluing love. When we overvalue, now she's not saying that love is not important, and she's not saying to undervalue love. She's just saying to put the right amount of value on love. But when it is overvaluing love, what is happening is now people are alone, people are isolated. When people are isolated, there would be problems. So because they're overvaluing love now, they see love as and affection as the solution for all their problems. They have overvalued love, and this is a neurotic need. We would be talking about neurotic needs. So love and affection becomes the solution for all their problems, but that's not so. We know the reality is not so. Love cannot solve all our problems. Now they become very desperate for love. Now this desperate need for love provides a ground for neurosis, and this neurotic strive in to find love becomes pathological sometimes. This, and when it is pathological, they are not going towards genuine love. Now when the striving for love becomes pathological and they are not going towards a genuine love, what is happening is that their self-defeating attempts are resulting in low self esteem, increased hostility, and basic anxiety. And again, leading to more competitiveness. And more competitiveness, again, what did we see? Competition leads to basic hostility, which leads to isolation, which leads to desperate need for love. So, what is happening? More competition, excessive need for love and affection. This is a vicious cycle, it keeps on going. So this is how culture is leading to neurosis. I'll just remove all this so it's easier for all of you to see. Karen Horney has given an example of the Western society, but I don't think Western society is so much different from any other society. Majority of society now has led to what Karen Horney is actually talking about. She's saying that Western society contributes to this vicious cycle. The vicious cycle we just saw, Western society is a direct contributor to this. How? Now, in society, people are taught to value family connections, uh, kinship, and humility, basically. And humility. They're taught to value these. But there is a prevalent attitude to be aggressive and to drive for power and be winning all the time and superiority. So there are two completely different attitudes prevailing in the society and which are contrary to each other. Now, when two such ideas are so contrary to each other, there would be contentions in a person. Now, society's demand for success and achievement are nearly endless. If a person has received everything, all his or her ambitions, goals, but society will keep on putting pressure for additional goals. There is no no end, no satisfaction a person is getting because the society is keeping on putting pressure on the person to get more and more, and whenever the ideology is more and more, a person will never be satisfied. The third thing, so the Western society tells that the people, the person has are free. Free means they can achieve everything they want if they put their mind to it. But we know that's not the reality. In reality, freedom of most people is greatly restricted by their genetics, social position, and competitiveness of others. Now, if somebody is has some kind of disability, that is putting them to a background. If somebody is not from a very socially affluent family, that is again putting that person to background. Society is telling that you're free and you can achieve everything, but again society has these caste system, uh, socioeconomic layers, which are of course putting people at the background if they are at a socially disadvantaged position. So not everybody is free to achieve whatever they are wanting if they just put their mind to it. It is not working that way, but people are made to believe that way. And when people are not receiving where they're putting their mind, because definitely their social backgrounds are not meeting up with the expectations, there is some kind of tension and anxiety forming inside a person. So, what Karen Horney said that these contradictions are all stemming from cultural influences rather than biological ones, which are providing intrapsychic conflicts. See, intrapsychic conflicts that threaten psychological health of a normal person and provide nearly insurmountable obstacles for neurotics. For normal person, it is making the normal person very anxious. On top of that, for the neurotics, it is creating a huge number of obstacles. The importance of childhood experiences, I would be talking about it in the second part. Please check that out. And I hope till now you have understood all the things I have talked about. If you have any queries, I'll put the link down below for questions. And for this whiteboard, also, I have put the link down below. Thank you so much for listening, and check out part 2 for the other slides.